Hello Year 10, this is your first PSE unit for this year, and in this unit we're going to be having a look at the importance of good nutrition. There will be a bit of overlap between what we're looking at today and what you've studied in biology in the digestion and the digestive system unit. But what we're going to concentrate on in this session is some certain areas of nutrition in particular. You will need a piece of paper and a pen in front of you, which you can use to answer questions as we go through, and then we'll be completing a quiz at the end. So the reason we've chosen this unit to have a look at is down to a survey that you all took part in back in Year 9. You may remember that you were asked to complete a survey on the computers during Year 9 where you were asked to answer questions for the School Healthy Research Network. So this survey was sent out to lots of schools, and pupils in all year groups answered questions about different aspects of health. So you were asked lots of questions about your diet, about exercise, about sleep, about drug and alcohol use, and various other aspects of health. We then get sent the results of the survey to have a look at, and from that we can identify areas where we've got strengths, and we can identify areas where we would be needing to address those points. So with the results that we had from you in Year 9, we've had a look at those and we've identified some areas that we're going to discuss in this session. The first one we're going to have a look at is eating breakfast. So if you have a look at the graph you can see there on the screen, we've got the results for all of the year groups through the school, but we're going to be focusing on the Year 9 bars because you were in Year 9 when you answered these questions. So as you can see, the national male average is the orange line, and the bar for Year 9 males is below the national average. The national female average is the pink bar, and again our bar is quite far below that line at 27%. So both males and females in Year 9 were below the national averages for eating breakfast every day. So we're just going to have a think about why it is important that we eat breakfast. So the importance of eating breakfast. As you know from your biology lessons, for the body to be provided with energy, we need to eat food that is digested into smaller soluble molecules that can go then into your bloodstream and be taken to all of your cells. In particular, glucose is really important because that's what you would be using for respiration, to release energy. So when you've been asleep for probably between 8 and 12 hours, the average night's sleep for your age, your body will need refueling. Okay, will have used up the food that you've eaten on the previous day and need to be refueled, just like a car will need to be refueled when it runs out of petrol. So it's really important that we break our fast. That's why it's called breakfast. We're breaking the fast of when we were asleep. Studies actually show that people who eat breakfast tend to be healthier overall and are more likely to participate in physical activities, which helps in maintaining a healthy body weight. However, lots of people often skip breakfast for various different reasons, and if you skip breakfast it can make you feel tired, lack of energy, you may be restless and possibly irritable as well. Obviously what you eat is important as well. A healthy breakfast is going to enhance your attention span, your concentration and your memory, all things which are really important if you are then going to do a full day in school. So let's have a think about why young people don't eat breakfast. So why is our bar lower than the national average? On your sheet of paper, just try and jot down a few ideas. Can you think of why young people are not eating breakfast every day? So hopefully you've been able to think of some reasons why young people might choose not to eat breakfast. So let's see if you came up with any of these. They want to sleep for longer. It's hard getting out of bed in the morning. You just want to stay in there, especially when the weather's cold and wet outside. So sometimes having a little bit of extra sleep will be more important than having breakfast. There's nothing to eat in the house. Maybe there's nothing suitable to have for breakfast. Maybe they're just not hungry that early in the morning. It could be that it takes too long to prepare food. They don't have enough time rushing around trying to get everything ready to leave the house. There's just not enough time to have anything to eat. Or they don't maybe like typical breakfast foods. When we think of breakfast, we think of sort of toast, cereal. Maybe that's not food that people like. Do any of those reasons apply to you? Are you one of those people in that survey who said that you don't eat breakfast on a weekday? Are there any solutions that you can think of? So for all of these things, what solutions could there be to solve those problems? Again, have a jot down the examples you've got on your paper. Think about, are there any solutions you can think of that would allow people to have breakfast? So pause the video if you need to, see if you can come up with some solutions. Okay, so these may be some of the things that we could give as solutions. Going to bed a bit earlier so that you can then get up a bit earlier and find some time there to have some breakfast. Eating breakfast in school. If you're leaving the house too early to have breakfast in school, whether you bring something with you or you buy something in the canteen at break time. Get up 15 minutes earlier. So making sure that you set an alarm 15 minutes earlier and getting prepared the night before, getting your clothes out, making sure your bag is packed so you've got that little bit of extra time in the morning to have some breakfast. Pack breakfast or a snack to eat on the way to school. So if you are having to leave the house really early, have something prepared that you can eat on the way to school or when you get here. So we said earlier on that obviously it's important to eat breakfast so that your body has the energy that it needs to get through the day. But it's also important to eat a healthy breakfast. So think back to what you've learned in your biology unit. What makes a healthy breakfast? What would you need to make sure that you're having in a breakfast for it to be healthy? Again, just make some notes on your paper of what you need to have a healthy breakfast. So a healthy breakfast should have many nutrients and include foods from the different food groups. So carbohydrates for energy, fats for your energy stores and insulation. There should be protein in there for aiding growth and repair. Also, you should be thinking about getting vitamins and minerals, so making sure there's some sort of fruit. Usually for breakfast we would have fruit rather than vegetables, so you're getting the vitamins and minerals you require. Also thinking about getting fibre so that your digestive system will keep on working properly. It should be, your breakfast should be low in added sugars and fats and high in vitamins and fibre. So there's some suggestions there on the screen of some maybe slightly different breakfast, not your typical bowl of cereal or a slice of toast. Easy 3-ingredient breakfast ideas. Okay, the one in the bottom left-hand corner is actually something I make on a regular basis. Mashed up banana with porridge oats, bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes and got some nice breakfast bars. So have a think about if there's anything you need to change about your morning routine to make sure that you're getting a healthy breakfast at the start of the day. The next area we're going to have a look at is drinking water. Water is one of the 7 components of a balanced diet, and when we did this survey, as you can see on the graph there, the girls were above the national average at 71%, so they're drinking water at least once a day. However, as you can see on the graph, again, the male bar at 55% is below the national average. So Year 9 girls with 71% were above the national average. However, Year 9 boys are below the national average. So we're just going to have a think in a bit more detail now about the importance of drinking water. So again, on your piece of paper in front of you, have a go at answering these two questions. So why do we need to drink water? And what will happen in our bodies if we don't drink enough water? Pause the video if you need to and have a go at answering those questions. Okay, so firstly, let's think about the importance of water. So every part of your body needs water. It makes up about 60% of your body weight. As we discussed in the biology unit, you're using water for chemical reactions. And having the correct balance of water in your body is important for osmosis as well, that you've got the correct balance of water in your blood and in your cells. If you don't have enough water, you will become dehydrated. Mild dehydration will cause things like headaches, nausea, fatigue, so tiredness, and obviously if you are in hot temperatures, you will need to be taking in more water on a daily basis because you're going to be sweating more. So the amount of water that you need to take in depends on the amount of water that you're losing. So you'll be losing water in 4 ways from your body. So in sweat, in breathing, every time you breathe out, you will be losing water vapor, and also then in your feces and your urine. So obviously the more water that you're losing during a day, the more water you will need to take in. If you're getting enough water, you will rarely feel thirsty. So feeling thirsty is a sign that your body is already dehydrated. Your urine also gives you a really good indication of whether you have got the correct amount of water in your body. So urine should be clear or slightly yellow if you are taking in enough water. If your urine is dark, it is a sign of dehydration and you need to increase the amount of water that you're taking in. So on this screen, we've got some comments about what water does in the body. So why do you think water is good for you? On your piece of paper, I'd like you to now make a table where in one column you're going to put the ones that are true, and in the other column you need to put the ones that are false. So if you can make a list of the statements that you think are true and the statements that you think are false. Okay, so let's have a look at these answers. So number 1, makes your hair grow faster. That one is false. You should have that in your false column. The second one then, lubricates and cushions joints, is correct. So water is important for your joints, so it's lubricating the joints. If people are dehydrated for a long time, it can reduce the joint's shock absorbing ability, leading to joint pain. So that is one reason why water is important. So the next one is protects the spinal cord. Again, that is a function of water within the body. Next one then is helps digestion, and again that is a function of water. So with digestion, having water within the digestive system helps, along with fibre, to keep everything moving along, prevents you from being constipated, and it will also help with the absorption of soluble molecules through the wall of the intestine into your bloodstream. So water is really important there, helping you to keep your digestive system working correctly. The next one then, help your kidneys to work correctly. Again, that is correct. So with the kidneys, water is needed to help them to remove waste, so to produce urine, and it also keeps the blood vessels open so that blood can travel to the kidneys and deliver essential nutrients. Okay, so the next one, helps you float better when you're swimming. Hopefully you all saw that as a false answer. Keeps our body temperatures normal. Again, this is correct. So because one of the main ways we regulate our body temperature is by the production of sweat, obviously water is needed to make sweat. Next one, helps your body get rid of waste. Again, that is correct. As we've already mentioned, water is needed to make urine and keep your digestive system going to get rid of feces. The last one then, makes you sleepy. That one would be incorrect as well. So a little bit more detail on the effects of dehydration. We've said that you'd feel fatigued because water is helping to get energy released in your body. So without it, you'd feel more tired and fatigued. Your blood pressure may become higher because if you have less water in your body, your blood may become thicker. So your blood pressure is going to increase. There will be problems with digestion. Your digestive system needs water to operate effectively. Your body is less able to control temperature because when you're dehydrated, you're not going to sweat as much, which keeps heat trapped inside your body. A lack of water will impair brain functions, so that will affect your concentration. You may become forgetful or confused and feel quite sluggish and unable to make good decisions. And also dehydration can cause joint pain because water usually would be lubricating the joints. So if you don't have enough water, they can become painful. So the next area we're going to have a look at, with people not drinking as much water, they then may be drinking too many sugary drinks. So again, looking at the graph, you can see that Year 9 girls were below the national average for females at only 10%. So they're not drinking one or more sugary soft drinks a day. Whereas the boys' percentage at 19% is higher than the national average. So Year 9 boys are above the national average for drinking one or more sugary soft drinks a day. Obviously, there's nothing like a nice cold drink on a hot day, but many of the sugary drinks, the soft drinks that we are drinking, come with as much as 9 or 10 teaspoons of sugar in one bottle or can. As a nation, we are consuming too much sugar, and there are health effects related to this. So diets high in sugar are linked to obesity. If you are taking in more energy than your body is using, then the sugar will be turned into fat, stored in your body, and that can lead to being overweight or becoming obese. As a result of this, the British government actually introduced what we call a sugar tax in 2018. So they made sugary drinks more expensive to try and reduce the amount of these that people are consuming. I've put a link to a news article about sugar tax on Study Zone for you to have a look at. It's not just about putting on weight by drinking lots of sugary drinks. There are other effects of sugar in the body as well. So you probably know that sugary drinks are not good for your teeth. The bacteria that are in your mouth will feed on the sugar. The bacteria produce acid, which can then dissolve away at the enamel on your teeth. If those holes in the enamel get through to the next layer, the dentine, and then into the pulp cavity, that's going to cause you to have toothache and need fillings. So most sugary drinks, as well as having the sugar though, are also acidic, which is not going to help the situation either. So as we've said, it's as well as the teeth, when we're thinking about eating or drinking too much sugar, too much carbohydrate, diets high in sugar are high in calories, and that will cause weight gain, and that can then have various impacts of the body. So as we covered in the biology unit, obesity is linked to diabetes, to arthritis, to heart disease, high blood pressure, all of these different conditions. So one more section we're just going to have a look at briefly, looking at fruits and vegetables. So again, looking at the graph, Year 9 females are above the national female average, but Year 9 males are below the national male average at only 38%. So why do we need 5 a day? Again, this is something we have talked about in your science lessons. Fruit and vegetables are part of a healthy, balanced diet and can help you stay healthy. It's important that you eat enough of them. evidence shows that there are significant health benefits to getting at least 5 portions of a variety of fruit and vegetables every day. So 5 portions. The graph we've just looked at is only about eating 1 portion or more fruit or vegetables a day. So we're not even looking at 5 a day, we're looking there at just 1 a day. So 5 portions of fruit and veg in total, not 5 portions of each, and a portion of fruit or veg is about 80 grams. The reasons why you should be eating 5 a day: fruit and vegetables are a very good source of vitamins and minerals, including folate, vitamin C and potassium. They're an excellent source of dietary fibre to help maintain a healthy gut and prevent constipation and other issues with your digestive system. A diet high in fibre is also reducing the risk of you getting bowel cancer. They can help to reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke and some types of cancer. Fruit and vegetables contribute to a healthy, balanced diet, and also they taste delicious and there's a lot of variety to choose from. So even if you don't like some vegetables, you will probably be able to find something that you do like. Fruit and vegetables are also usually low in fat and calories. That's why eating them can help you to maintain a healthy weight and contribute to keeping your heart healthy. To get the most out of eating 5 a day, though, your 5 a day should include a variety of fruit and vegetables, lots of different colours in there to get different combinations of vitamins and minerals and fibre. Almost all fruit and vegetables count towards your 5 a day, apart from things like potatoes, which are mainly starch, and fresh, frozen, canned, dried or juiced fruit and vegetables, they all count. Okay, so that takes us to the end of the video. What I would like you to do now is to complete the quiz that is on Study Zone. Thank you.